Hello, welcome to business class. This is automotive business, and the purpose of this class is to teach you guys how an automotive business is going to run. Um, Sorry about the blue rectangle on my face. I've been spending the whole morning trying to figure out how to turn this silly thing off. Wonderful Windows 10. It will not go away. So, anyways, sorry about that. You'll have to deal with the blue rectangle. I've tried it several times. Anyways, welcome to the class. I'm going to go over a few things, and I'm actually going to get rid of my face just because that blue rectangle is so annoying. You should be able to hear me okay, though. This is the first page of the business class. It's the Welcome Start Here page. It's where I recommend you start out with the course. Should be the first page to pop up when you sign in. Of course, if you're seeing this, you've signed in, you've clicked on the video. Pay attention to the welcome message here. It talks about what is needed for the course. This whole Welcome Start Here page gives you a lot of information to get you started, obviously, because of the name Welcome Start Here. So we're going to be looking at a few things through the course, looking at what the business has to do as far as getting started, what they have to do to make sure that they maintain and obey the laws, whether it be state laws or federal laws. We're looking at how you produce a profit with your business. And we're going to be doing obviously some papers and reports and quizzes and tests as we go through this course. Big part of this is you will have to upload assignments, and that will require you to possibly print them, fill them out, and scan them, or take a really high quality photo and upload them. So one of the first activities you do for the first week is to learn how to use the Blackboard course. And that's a separate course in your Blackboard courses. You'll see it says Blackboard Orientation, not Library Orientation. I've had students do that one by mistake, but it's the Blackboard Orientation. And that's going to teach you how to upload files. You guys already know how to do it, I'm sure, but if you don't, that's why we do it. You do have to get 100% test grade before you can print the certificate. And that certificate, again, is going to get uploaded to this particular course to show that you've completed that. And that's a quiz grade for that particular one. I'm sorry, nope, we changed that to a homework grade, so that one's a homework grade. In your grade book, you will be able to identify what is a homework grade, what's a quiz grade, what's a test grade. It will identify that in your grade book. So we have, I believe, 4 or 5 quizzes through this course, and then we typically have 4 tests. And these, of course, will all be open book because this is an online course. There's no way I can control that you use resources. So it's fine. Use your resources to get the best answer that you can. Homework assignments will allow you to take them at your leisure, so you can save the results, come back in and take them again. You will notice that it's a submit once and it's done. So if you hit submit by accident, it's done. So don't hit submit unless you're ready to submit that particular activity there. All right, so big thing is, again, you'll have to scan things potentially, or you'll have to have some kind of software that you can modify the document and upload it then to me to show that you've completed it. Whether that be Google Docs or Microsoft Word or one of those kind of programs, you're going to have something. One other note there is that there is not a textbook quiz for each chapter. So some weeks you'll have to read the chapter, but there may not be actual questions for it. Now, the thing with that is I know that I was a student as well. I would say, well, I don't need to bother with doing the chapter because, there's no grade on it. There are going to be test questions out of that chapter, though. So when you get your test or your quiz, you're going to see that there might be questions from that chapter. So it's really important that you guys read those chapters and make sure that you're ready for the tests. So some weeks we will have test questions or quiz questions on the homework, and sometimes we won't. And those are a homework grade. So just pay attention to each week and see what's there for each week. And I do an overview video each week to let you know what's going on. Okay, so you'll see a welcome overview here, which picture is going to be a little different now since I'm redoing this video. Big thing, again, is our work week begins on Sunday, and I'm going to open everything up on Sunday morning, and that means that you'll have from Sunday till Friday to get everything done. So all your homework, tests, quizzes, Discussion boards, you're going to wrap all of those up by Friday evening at 11:59. So that's our week. Saturday, then I'll be doing all the grading and the feedback. That's going to work best for me. Any posts or assignments posted after that time will not be counted. So we don't do any kind of late work in this class. Your first post to a discussion board, if you have a discussion board for that week, will be done by Tuesday at 11:59, and then all your final posts and your wrap-ups and any kind of a review that you want to do on the discussion board, they all have to be in by Friday at 11:59. Anything after Friday, I'm not going to count. So again, just making sure that you understand how our work week is going to work. So everything starts Sunday. All the posts have to be in, the first initial posts have to be in by Tuesday evening, and then everything has to be done by Friday evening, 11:59. Of course, I'll be able to see when you've submitted these things. So if you get a 0 for the activity, it could be because, again, you were late, whether that's 12:01 or 3 in the morning. If it's the after the due date, then it's too late. Okay, so no surprises there. My email is here, so contact me by email. The telephone number that you guys will have in my contact information from the school is my office phone number. I won't be in my office this semester, so be sure that you send emails instead. I can check that office phone remotely, but again, best way to reach me is by email. And normally I respond back within 12 to 48 hours of that. Depends on if it's the weekend or depends on if it's during the week. And I'm going to be busy doing other things as well. So typically you'll hear back from me within a 24-hour period. But if you don't, hang in there. It'll be definitely within 2 days. All right, textbook here. The price is a little different from what you see here. It's actually a little bit higher. It's a general guide. You can pick up this book used. Our bookstore has it at SMCC. I believe the price is about $20 more than what's shown here. So that is going to vary depending on where you buy it. But that's a guide there anyways. So you got the ISBN number. You can find it several different places. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go over the syllabus. So if you click on the syllabus link, it's going to open up the syllabus, and we're going to real quick take a peek at that. You guys are going to do this on your own. There's a quiz the first week going over the syllabus and the department policy. It's called a department policy quiz. So those two pieces of information you will have to read and take a quiz on just to make sure that you're 100% understanding what's going on with that. All right, so it's taking a little while to open up. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down and show you a few other things while we're waiting on that. There is a discussion board rubric. That's how I'm going to grade you. This is going to show you where the points come from. So there's categories. You can click on that and take a peek. There's an introduction discussion board that I have a little bit simpler grading scheme for that. And then your goals, there's a little bit simpler grading scheme for that discussion board. But then the rest of them follow this particular rubric. So if you're going, gee, why did I only get this many points on the discussion board? Refer to that rubric, and it'll kind of explain why you got what you got. Here we have required tool list for automotive. So this is for, not for the business class, obviously, but for when you get into brakes, steering, suspension, electrical 2, you will have to have tools for that particular class. Electrical 1, you don't have to have tools except for your snap-on meter, because we do a snap-on training program in that class, and your instructor will be kind of showing you how that works. Your second semester, you also need uniforms, so there's a uniform poster there. And also talking about the uniforms, where you order them, how you get them, because it is through a particular company. And you will need to give yourself a little bit of lead time before that semester to make sure you get them on time, because you do have to have them the first day of that second semester, brakes, steering, suspension. So again, kind of just a little bit of notice to let you know, and giving you enough notice ahead of time. Free software, this link here will give you, for example, like if you don't have Microsoft Word and you can't read Word documents, there is a Word viewer in here that's free, and there's some other software there that's free as well. Again, a lot of stuff can be done through Google Docs, so if you want to use Google Docs, that's perfectly fine. Just has to be in a format that I can open when I'm looking at this. All right, Technical requirements for Blackboard. This will tell you what it is that you need to do. Make sure your computer has the information on it. Big thing is Firefox is the best compatible viewer for Blackboard. It's what we always are told. However, I'm using Chrome right now and it's working just fine. So if you do have trouble, try using Firefox. Any kind of trouble with Blackboard, there is a helpline and a help desk. So make sure that you jot that number down in case you can't get into Blackboard. You can give them a call or shoot them an email. All right, so we should have the syllabus up by now. And here it is. Let's take a peek here. All right, so 2-credit class. There's my email again, my telephone number for my office. But again, the best way to get a hold of me is by email. And this is kind of an outline of what we're going to be doing. Here's our grading for the class. So we don't have any kind of lab time or shop time. So there's no grade associated with that. So instead we have reports and we have discussion boards and quizzes and tests that are going to kind of determine your grade. Late policy, again, there is no late work accepted. Your attendance is basically discussion boards and doing the coursework, making sure that you sign into Blackboard and do the work, and that's pretty much your attendance. So since it's not a face-to-face class, that's what you have. Here's your rubric in the syllabus. It's also located on the Blackboard page. Your text, I would highly recommend doing a 3-ring binder to keep all of your materials, anything that you're going to need for future. We're going to be doing a portfolio for an interview eventually in, typically it's after your breaks class. You're going to be doing an interview with a dealership to go out and do an internship in the summer, whether that's the summer coming up or it's the summer next year. One of the summers you're going to be doing an internship. So we do provide opportunities for you guys to build a portfolio, and we go over that before you go out for your interviews. So that's part of our course. All right. Other than that, you guys can read the rest of this. All right. So let's get rid of that. And I'm going to point out a few things over here on the left-hand side of the page. Course email. You can email anyone in the class. You can email me from that link. Course content is where all of your information is for the weeks. You're going to see week 1 through 15. This is a 15-week course. And click on each week and do the assignments. And then we have a discussion board tab. There's a discussion board link on each week, so it's not really a big deal if you use this one or use the one in the weeks. And then course resources. Highly recommend you guys get into there and take a peek around in the first week. There's a lot of really good information. So for example, if you're doing an assignment and you're going, geez, I need to know something about tax laws in Maine, there's information in there about that. There's information in there about starting your own business. And then, of course, your grades. So this is your grade book. So this is where you can see how you're doing in the class. It's a running total. As soon as it's updated, once you turn in an assignment on Saturdays or typically on Sunday, whichever day I get the grading done, you'll have that updated. And you'll be able to see your total score for the course as it is at the time of your viewing. All right. The rest of this down here you won't see because I'm in instructor view at the moment. So hopefully that helps. I think I covered everything. Yep, that looks like everything for the overview of the course. Good luck, guys. I really look forward to working with you. And email me if you have any kind of questions. Oh, one other piece. In the discussion board area, there is a classroom questions discussion board. If you have any kind of questions and you're going, I don't know if I really want to email the instructor, go ahead and post it there because some of your other fellow classmates may have the answer. And if not, I'll answer. So I'll take a peek in there every so often and see if there's any kind of questions. But that'll be open all the time. So if you do have a question, look in there first and see if there's an answer, because then you may not even need to bother anyone. Just go ahead and take a peek in there and see if there's anything. And if not, shoot a question into there and somebody may be able to answer that. And if not, then, of course, I'll answer the question. All right. Good luck, guys, and have a great semester. I'll talk to you again soon.